People say we're living in the cyberpunk world without the technology, but is that really true? Because it seems like the technology is here.
This may look like someone controlling a virtual quadcopter in a video game. But actually what's happening is this is a person with paralysis who has a brain-computer interface who's controlling it with their thoughts.
The tech has just arrived quietly through medicine, disability tech, and war. And that's just like in Cyberpunk, but we are just a bit early. Like, the base technology for netrunners is around.
A brain-computer interface, just like it sounds, is a way that your brain can communicate with a computer.
What Cyberpunk imagined as neural jacks, we are now building as brain-computer interfaces. And for the first time in history, a human being has literally controlled a digital system with thoughts alone.
This device is made to be inserted into the brain, allowing people living with paralysis to control their phones, computers, and beyond, using only their thoughts.
This right here is how it starts. It's not mastery, but it is proof of access, and in technology, access is always the real breakthrough. Cyberpunk isn't just about neon streets, chrome arms, and cybernetic eyes. It's also about technology becoming inseparable from power, governance, labor, and daily life. I mean, don't we have this today? History just shows before the technology becomes visible, it always begins invisibly as medicine. So this is episode 1 in a series where we break down and discuss whether cyberpunk is already here, looking at the tech and what it means for us, starting with netrunners. Because netrunners are often the most augmented people in Mike Pondsmith's Cyberpunk, not because they want to be, but because they have to be. To operate inside the net, raw intelligence isn't enough. Their fleshy meat suit bodies aren't enough. From a young age, these guys are going through it. Netrunners are already thinking in systems, code, signal, logic, abstraction. And they are said to be operating at the level of a senior developer. But no amount of skill bridges that final gap. To interface with the net directly, they need augmentation, and one of the first pieces of key cyberware they obtain is the neural interface plug. It creates a direct mental link between human thoughts and machine logic. No keyboard, no screen, and no delay, but by doing this, they are able to control machines and interface with systems. We have this ability today. 2024 marked the first time in history commercially a human being directly interface with a machine using thought alone, and that human was Noland Arbaugh. Before the implant, Arbaugh was paralyzed from the shoulders down after a diving accident into toxic waste. No ability for hand movement, no independent way of interacting with a computer. Then the implant went in, Neuralink, and a cursor moved on the screen. Not because his hand moved, but because his brain tried to. A physically disabled man controlling a machine with his mind. And this is the worst the technology will ever be. We are not in cyberpunk without tech.
I knew all along that I was going to have the worst version of this that's ever going to be in someone. I knew that it's only going to get better from here on out. And if anything, that's what caused me pause most before the surgery was, do I really want to do this? Or should I let someone else go first and then I'll get a better version later on?
We are in what Cyberpunk calls Generation Zero of cyberware. In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, Generation Zero cyberware is defined by medical prosthesis, life-saving implants, restorative technology, and devices designed to return people to a baseline function, not exceed it. A key theme in cyberware is that it actually begins as medicine, or at least a noble cause, not enhancement. That's exactly where we are. So the question is, what comes after that? I mean, it's a good question because this is why cyberpunk writers are so great, because they're amazing at pattern recognition. That's why Mike Pondsmith and other cyberpunk writers' work feels like it's prophetic, and they say what comes next is the military.
The surgical implantation is a low enough risk, then you could imagine it could be something like the LASIK procedure, and you could imagine now using these devices to augment function rather than restore function.
The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, currently has a program called N3, which stands for Next Generation Non-Surgical Neurotechnology Program. Essentially is an initiative to create non-invasive high-resolution brain-machine interfaces for national security, allowing soldiers to control advanced systems, drones and cyber defenses with their thoughts, overcoming current surgery-based limitations by potentially using tiny nanoparticles of light or acoustic signals through wearable devices and surgery implants. And this is pretty telling, but it is how we go from generation 0, which is care, to generation 1, which is optimization. Through the N3 program, DARPA has invested tens of millions of dollars, around 65 million, in one major program alone.
DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, is on the front lines of that work. They're racing against our adversaries. My amendment to today's legislation is simple. It doubles DARPA's budget from $3.5 billion to $7 billion a year for each of the next 5 years,
with individual teams receiving 18 to 20 million each. We are talking universities, defense labs, and private companies all have received funding. You'll know some like Johns Hopkins, a physical laboratory, Carnegie Mellon University, Rice University, but also companies that specialize in neurotech like Paradronomics and BlackRock Neurotech. I mean, if that is not cyberpunk, I do not know what to say. I mean, BlackRock Neurotech? Really? Seriously? So this is all in an effort to move brain-computer interfaces from its current state to more advanced spheres, so it can give advantage in economic or battlefield areas, which seems to be a major reason why DARPA is heavily investing in this field. And to be honest, this pushes my theory that the first netrunners won't be rebels or punks. They'll always be professionals because they will always have access to the most advanced tech first. I don't know what you think, but I think they'll 100% be corpos. A reality cyberpunk often reflects because the people whose jobs demand faster access, cleaner signal, because the system demands them to have this technology. Simply, the economics that we are in right now demands augmentation or replacing labor, or both.
This is actually something which is going to structurally change the economy and society and all kinds of things. And we need to think about how do we structure this new world.
And it seems once we are at this stage, the pressure won't be to enhance, it will be to keep up. And then the question will be, when are you getting your next upgrade? Then maybe one day after that, things will start to snap. Yesterday's corpo becomes today's klepto-punk. Just ask V. The technology is coming, chooms, just be patient. But the economics will always arrive first. But what do you think? Do you think we are in a cyberpunk world already? Do you think the technology is here already? Or do you think we've got a long way to go? Let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.